Hey everybody, coming back with another video. This one is on what I think is the #1 problem new gardeners, people that have tried it once and then they didn't like it, or people that have put in a small garden and now they want to put in a bigger garden, but they're hesitant about that. I think it's because of this one thing, and we're going to talk about it today. We're going to give you some examples of it, and we're going to give you some tips on how to fix it. And then I want to talk a little bit about some of the mistakes I've made and what helps me, okay? So we're going to get right into it. #1 thing that I think people have a problem with is time management. If you talk to somebody that has gardened and they say, I tried it and man, I just didn't have time. You know, by July, it was just nothing but weeds and it just didn't work, you know. So here's what I'm talking about. If you have a job, and for the purpose of this video, I'm going to call gardening a job. I do not like to do that, but to make a point, I'm going to say this. If you have a job, say putting in 30 tomato plants, that's a lot of tomato plants. That can be overwhelming if you just look at it like, I have to put in these 30 tomato plants. But if you break it down into smaller jobs, it's not bad, okay? What are the steps for putting in a tomato? You got to dig a hole. Any soil amendments, you got to stake it or use a tomato cage, something like that. You got to cover it up. You're probably going to want to water it. And I'm going to do a video on planting tomato, just the way I do it. But there's all these steps, okay? To do that all in one day, that's a lot of work. So right now, it's the middle of March. I'm not going to plant tomatoes until around Mother's Day. So if I go out there for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, dig a few holes, a half an hour, if I get some time where, you know, nothing else is going on, I can have all them holes already dug. I can have my stakes already put in well before May. So then on the day that I go out there, all I got to do is just put them in the ground. Just put soil amendments, whatever I want to put in that hole, put the tomato in, cover it up, and water them. Makes it a lot easier, a lot less stress, okay? So let's say you're going to put in sweet corn. So what do we need to put in some sweet corn? Well, first thing, you got to have a tiller. My pigs are getting a little crazy. First thing, you got to have a tiller. You want to make sure that tiller is running good. Don't wait until the morning of and then find out your tiller don't start. You got to have a hoe, something to put in your rows. You got to have a string to measure your rows out, string and stakes, something like that. And you'll probably want to have a measuring device, some kind, a yardstick or a tape measure or something to help you lay these rows out, okay? So in the morning, and it really doesn't matter, you can make a checklist. But in the morning, have all that stuff ready. I got a really good example for that here in a minute. But just make sure you got everything. We all know how this works. Okay, I'll show you. That's my garage. That's where I keep pretty much everything for gardening. My garden's over here. So when I forget something and I have to go to the garage or I have to go to the house, we all know what happens. You forget you need to do something else. Somebody hollers and says, hey, would you mind helping me with this? You know, a family member. It might be an hour before you get back out there. If I have everything I need right there, huge saving time, huge. So, you know, just stop and take a couple minutes and think about what you're going to need. You know, make a checklist, write a list, whatever it takes to make sure you have everything you need when you go out there. You would be amazed at how much time that saves. Now, I'm saying all this. I ran my electric fence, and I did it over 2 or 3 days, and it went okay. I got all the posts in, really didn't take any time because I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to spend the time putting my electric fence in after, you know, I've started tilling and putting plants and stuff like that in, because it makes for a long day. Now, it is more of a pain to till with it up. It is, but I'd rather have it up now than to have things get in my garden. You know, it's just, it works better for me that way. So I get my stakes in, everything's good. I run the wires for the most part, everything's good. You know, I did forget a few insulators, had to walk back to the garage, you know. Most of the posts had insulators on them, but all in all, I did pretty good. Got the wires ran, and I got up. You know, I came out there after church today. I'm going to finish this up. It's going to take me a half an hour. It took me a half an hour to find my charger. It was buried on my workbench. I never looked for it. I just assumed it was where I left it. And I'm sure I left it somewhere, and it was under a big pile of junk because I haven't used it in a while. So that was on me. That's what I'm talking about. A half-hour job ended up taking over an hour because I spent a half an hour in there looking for something, and then I get sidetracked. You know, well, I need to put this up, or I need to do this. This is what happens. So it happens to me, it happens to everybody, but I guarantee you, if you turn these bigger jobs into small jobs, you're going to have a lot more fun gardening, and it's going to work out a lot better for you. And my pig just decided to get up and push on the tripod. Okay, that's all I have for today. I'm going to make bacon here in a minute if he keeps pushing on this. You guys have a good day, and I will talk to you later. Pig, I'm going to kill you.